Did you know Sean Hannity had to flee New York because they were intolerant of him? Oh no, why would anyone ever be intolerant of Sean Hannity?
Here's my question. Because, look, I'm perfectly fine with Mamdani winning. You want to know why? Because it's not going to impact my life. I left New York. You know why I left New York? High taxes, quality of life, crime. I had a hard time going to a restaurant in New York City because people would stare at me and hated me and they had daggers in their eyes. You know what? I'm loved down here in Florida. Now, I don't know why New Yorkers are so intolerant, but that was my life in New York. So I left. And
wait a minute, Sean,
one of the best decisions I made.
I thought you left because of Brian Cashman and the Yankees not being able to get together.
No, I like Brian Cashman, actually. I think he's a pretty good guy.
You see why he left? High taxes, crime, quality of life. Quality of life, he reportedly makes $45 million a year. How can you not live on $45 million a year, even in New York City? And by the way, crime is down. And we know the reason he left. Taxes. He doesn't want to pay the taxes because that's how the rich avoid paying taxes, finding ways to get out of it. And he goes, I'm perfectly fine with Mamdani winning. Is he really? I don't think they are. There's the real Republican Party being racist, calling Mamdani Little Muhammad. That's Representative Andy Ogles out of Tennessee, playing the race card. Unfortunately, it's not just the Republicans. The Democrats are doing it too. That's a super PAC for Andrew Cuomo, actually darkening Mamdani's beard in a mailer to make him look more threatening. What's next? They're going to send one out with him with a beard and a turban, and then the next one with a Kalashnikov? What are they doing? What are they doing? And Donald Trump, they're on Donald Trump's side. Watch.
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mamdani?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, we're going to look at everything, and ideally, he's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist.
So are we back into McCarthyism? Is that what's going on? So is he a communist, or is he a Muslim? Is he a Muslim communist? What is he? And what's with Trump saying a lot of people are saying, that's always what he says. Who are these people that are saying that Mamdani's here illegally? And what are you talking about? He's been doing this his whole career, and somehow his constituents don't seem to care about it. But Mamdani has an answer for Trump.
Donald Trump said that I should be arrested. He said that I should be deported. He said that I should be denaturalized. And he said those things about me, someone who stands to be the first immigrant mayor of this city in generations, someone who would also be the first Muslim and the first South Asian mayor in this city's history. Less so because of who I am, because of where I come from, because of how I look or how I speak, and more so because he wants to distract from what I fight for. I fight for working people. I fight for the very people that have been priced out of this city, and I fight for the same people that he said he was fighting for. This is the same president who ran on a campaign of cheaper groceries, who ran on a campaign about easing a suffocating cost of living crisis. And ultimately, it is easier for him to fan the flames of division than to acknowledge the ways in which he has betrayed those working class Americans, not just in this city, but across this country.
He's so good, he's so eloquent, and he's got policies that are for the people. And that's what he says. He says these billionaires are worried, so they're attacking me any way they can because they're worried that I have these programs that are going to help the people of New York City. And you have Andrew Cuomo now backing some of Mamdani's policies.
Free child care, free college, everything free. How do you pay for it? Oh, you tax the rich. Okay, and why would the rich stay here? Let's provide free child care. We can do it.
Yeah, first he said we can't do free child care. Now he's saying let's do free child care because he saw that Mamdani won on that. So that's what's happening. These people see that Mamdani is winning and they're just trying to attack him and they're trying to take on his policies as much as they can while not pissing off the donor the rich donors.
What was it about Mamdani and his campaign specifically that stuck out to you?
Well, it's because he is talking about the things that people care about, not just affordability, but he's talking about actually making the country work for average people, making democracy a real thing. He's a young voice like AOC. These are the people who ought to be the leading voices of the Democratic Party.
And there's Robert Reich explaining that Mamdani is young, he is passionate. Like AOC, this should be the future of the Democratic Party, not somebody like Andrew Cuomo, who already was ousted because of all kinds of sexual harassment issues. And he's old and he's old school. And the problem is that this old school power, the billionaires, they don't want somebody like Mamdani because he's talking about stuff that is revolutionary in their minds, but logical in the minds of many other people. Why shouldn't New York City be affordable for every class? Why shouldn't it be? Why shouldn't New York City provide childcare? Why shouldn't New York City provide healthcare or free education, college for their students? Why shouldn't they do that? You have one of the richest cities in the world, and they're not able to take care of their own because the rich keep keeping their money, which is what happened. We saw with this big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump passed, which he sold to his constituents. A lot of people, a majority of Americans, did not want this big, beautiful bill. However, they sold it and they got themselves a tax break. They got billionaires a tax break, and they're going to be getting rid of Medicare. They're going to be getting rid of school programs. They're getting rid of the Department of Education. They're getting rid of anything that helps people, and they want to push their agenda, their billionaire agenda down everybody's throat. And that's why Mamdani is a threat, because Mamdani's coming in and going, look, there's things we can do here. We could increase the taxes on some of the rich people working here. Some of the corporations, they should be paying more taxes. Corporations and rich people avoid taxes like it's drinking water. Like they just avoid taxes like it's no big deal. They just do it all day long. You got to have 25 ounces of avoiding taxes a day. That's what you got to do. Just keep drinking that avoiding tax plan. And they do, and we see it now, because this is the big thing that was sold under Ronald Reagan. It started with Ronald Reagan talking about trickle-down economics. They said, look, if you let capitalism run amok and just let people make as much money as they can, don't worry. They'll share it with you. Sure. Tell that to Jeff Bezos, who just spent $60 million on his wedding in Italy, while he doesn't want his Amazon workers to unionize. It doesn't trickle down. Billionaires go off and buy more boats for themselves. You think Elon Musk money is trickling down to other people of the economy? No. Elon Musk is another billionaire who is just taking that money and buying himself more toys, buying himself more companies, buying himself a presidency, spending hundreds of millions of dollars to get Donald Trump elected, because Donald Trump did the nod and the wink and said, I'll do whatever you want. I got you. Now they had a falling out, but still, Elon has a lot of government contracts and he continues to get them. So you get a guy like Mamdani who comes along and has some ideas. First, they try calling him a socialist. He's a socialist. Oh, socialism is bad. How dare you give health care to your people? How dare you lower the cost of living? That's socialism. That wasn't quite working. So now they're going with communism. This guy's a communist. This guy's going to turn New York City into Soviet Russia 1920, 1930. He's going to be Stalin. He's the Stalin. He's the Stalin of New York. And good for Mamdani just staying cool and going, yo, I ain't playing this game. I'm not letting you guys come in here to my city and get a hold of all of these immigrants. You saw that guy asking the question of Donald Trump in that clip. He goes, all these criminal illegals. Well, they told us that they're going to deport all the violent criminals that are here that are undocumented. And they said there's 20 million of them. Look it up. Donald Trump said it in his campaign. There's 20 million illegal criminals, undocumented, that are here. He had the number at 10 million, then it went to 15 million, then it went to 20 million. And then once they started deporting people, they realized, oh, they don't have that many undocumented criminals, violent criminals in this country. So they started going to places where people are working. People who've been here for years and years and years have a living. There was this guy in California. He was a landscaper. He was working on some landscaping. He's got 3 sons that serve in the United States Marine Corps. They're giving their lives for America. They grabbed them, they beat them up, and they took them away. They're taking away people that are working. They're going to places where people are working. They're going to farms. They're going to restaurants. They're going to Home Depot where people are looking for work. And they're arresting those people. So good for Mamdani for saying, I ain't going to play with you. Because what happened was Eric Adams, remember this, Eric Adams, who's the current mayor, had gotten in trouble for doing some stuff that was improper, financial crimes and the sort. And the Biden administration, the DOJ, was going after him. And then once Trump came into power, they went and they sat down with Eric Adams and said, look, we will look the other way and let your crimes go if you allow us to bring our ICE force into New York City and just arrest people. And Eric Adams was like, sure, why not? So people are saying that Mamdani is a socialist, a communist, Islamic fundamentalist, whatever they're saying. But these people that are saying this are hypocrites. These people have committed actual crimes. Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo, they've actually done things that are improper. So these people are not to be trusted. Donald Trump, 34 felony counts. He's saying that Mamdani should be deported? I would question that. And Islamophobia is easy to play. All these people on the right talking about Islamophobia. Mamdani is anti-Semitic, all that stuff. Mamdani actually has a lot of Jewish supporters. He's been to synagogues. He's talked to Jewish leaders. Jewish New Yorkers realize that Mamdani is making New York more affordable for everybody. Jews, Muslims, Christians, Baha'is, Hindus, whatever you are. Mamdani is talking to the people, and that's why it's resonating. And these people are freaking out. So you got guys like Sean Hannity pretending like he's not upset. He's going to be putting so much time and effort into trying to not get Mamdani elected. You watch. He's going to have multiple people on talking about Mamdani. He's going to continue to say, New York City kicked me out. They kicked you out because you're a bigot, dude. You're a racist, sexist bigot. Watch your own show. You're a liar. Look at the lawsuit you guys had with Fox, where you were saying that the voting machines were rigged, and they sued you, and they brought out all those texts that were going back and forth between you and Laura Ingraham and Tucker Carlson, all about how you guys were saying, oh my God, this Donald Trump's ruining the party. We're not going to support him. And then once you saw the tide turn, once you saw that the crazy was going to come back, you all jumped back on board. And now you just kiss his boots. And you're ruining this country. And you're fleeing to Florida because that's the place where you can go and not pay your taxes. That's why you're going there. It's plain and simple. This is a rich person who realized they're paying more taxes than they should. They're going to go down, live in Florida, and just, be in Florida. Good for you. Go live in Florida. Go retire. Do whatever you got to do. Because New York City doesn't want you. Because New York City is a little too sophisticated for you. New York City is a little too smart. And they know what your modus operandi is. Your modus operandi is to just throw names, throw insults, throw claims of things like that congressman from Tennessee, Zohran Little Mohammed Mamdani. Little Mohammed Mamdani? How is that? How do people say that Mamdani is anti-Semitic when he hasn't made an anti-Semitic comment, and then a guy like this makes an Islamophobic comment and they're not going as crazy? How does that happen? Mamdani has come out and he has actually acknowledged that anti-Semitism is on the rise. He's acknowledged that Islamophobia is on the rise. And we all know that these things are happening. And he's saying, I want to bring the city together. I want to make the city a better place for all. And now you got people like this dude out of Tennessee who's like, hey, you're a terrorist. That's what he's basically saying. You're a terrorist, and I'm gonna do a bill to get you deported. I don't know if that's how he talks, but I'm guessing that's how he talks. You're gonna get deported, boy. You can't do that. The guy's a naturalized citizen. Guys, wake up. See what's happening. They are weaponizing things to denaturalize people who are naturalized citizens. That's not good for anybody, because next they're going to come after you. Born here, they're going after birthright citizenship. They might say, oh, you know what? We didn't like what you said because it was a little too communisty. It was a little too socialisty. We didn't like it. We're offended by it. Therefore, we're going to investigate and find a reason to get rid of you. That's what we're in. We're an authoritarian state. And you saw Donald Trump and Sean Hannity and Representative Ogles and all these people, they don't seem to care. Andrew Cuomo doesn't seem to care. If anything, Andrew Cuomo should be supporting Mamdani right now, realizing, oh, wow, this is the future of the Democratic Party. We need to fight fire with fire. Mamdani's got the brains for it. He's got the energy for it. I personally think there should be an age limit of how old you can be to run. Like after 70, you got to get out. No offense to any 70-year-olds, but let's get the young people in there. Let's get some young blood in there. Let's go. Let's make New York more affordable for everybody. Let's do this. And Mamdani can do it. Guys, I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I've got a channel right here on YouTube. It's at Maz Jobrani. Give it a follow. I post stand-up comedy. Leave a comment. Let me know you found me on Rebel HQ. Bye-bye.